Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to more 14 Minesweeper Variants. Today, we're checking out our fourth variant, which is Wall. The clue indicates the length of consecutive mines in neighboring 8 cells. So we can have clues like this, where it says 1-4. Does not mean there's 14 mines in the 8 cells surrounding it. It means that there's a set of 1 and a set of 4. Same with 1-2-2, set of 1, 2 sets of 2, singular 5, so on and so forth. It's gonna be interesting. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. Maybe it will be very easy for me. Maybe it will be freaking horrible. I have no idea. So, okay, well, what do we know? What do we know, right? I think that's the important thing to start with. We know that this 1-1 is actually kind of fascinating. So that has to be 2 separate ones, right? So immediately he starts drawing, right? Let's take a look at what happens if it's this. Okay? This is not possible because of the 2. Right? Which actually confirms this is our starting basis, right? It confirms that these 2 are, how the hell did that become green, man? What the heck? Okay, that was a little strange. It does confirm these 2 are both good, and the reasoning for that is that this 2, you would have to have 2 mines connected, right? And that's not physically possible, because otherwise, this right here would break. So, kind of interesting, right? Kind of interesting. Then that means that this 1 does have to be here, which means this is not, and then these 2 have to be in, which then makes this 2 where both of those are clean. It's actually very interesting. I did that very fast. But it made sense in my head. Now that puts us into an even more interesting position, because, so this 1, we know that we have a mine here or here, but not both. This 2 is taken care of. We know that this 2, you have a mine either here or here. But what does that actually tell us? Well, we know that if the mine is, well, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we know. So we know, take a look at this 3, right? So if this 1 is here or here, then it also has to be, oh, that's actually not true. That's not true. That's not true. Because look at this 3, right? If we had instead, I'm gonna get rid of all my dots for a second. This could be this, and then that's gone, that's gone, that's a mine, right? This is fair game. Nothing stopping that from occurring. But it could also be this, right? And that's completely fair too. I don't think there's anything stopping that from happening. The one thing that we know for certain is it can't be this square, right? Because if it is this square, then that 3, that means this 1 also has to be. And that cannot be the case. So we can click this. Now that this is a 1, we know this has to go here, and then that immediately fills out, it fills out freaking everything, right? It fills out everything. It literally fills out everything. Holy crap, dude. Okay. This is not that bad. This is not that bad. It's way easier than I thought that it would be. So that's very good for me. What do we know? We know that this and this have to be safe. How'd I get to that logic? I feel like I maybe sometimes go a little bit fast, or you're used to watching like Aliens Rock play this, and he's a lot smarter than me, so maybe, and you're probably a lot smarter than me too. I don't know. Say that this 1, you had a mine here. That means that this 2, the only other spot where this can go is here, and then this 1 is already broken, and then that same logic applies down here, so you can immediately get rid of those. This 1 though now means, very interestingly, that it has to be one of these. all of those still touch this one, so that actually confirms that these two are both safe as well. Okay, now where does that logic take me? It's a good question. It's a good question. That logic takes me to a spot where I'm looking at these 4 squares. Not that one. I'm looking at these 4 squares here, right? We know that we can't have 2 touching. So you either have something like those 2, but then this 1 breaks, right? So actually, I mean, we know where this is. We have our next step. It has to be this, right? It has to be this, because this 1, otherwise you would have other things touching it. Well, actually, this is not true either. You could have this, and that's fair game. But what that does mean is you can't have this. One of these 2 has to be it. So we can click U. I was really hoping U would be something of value. I feel like I still have some logical conclusion here, but I have to think about what it is. It's maybe this 2. Yeah, you know what? I think it's definitely this 2. So what does this 2 tell us? What this 2 tells us is we know that this 1 here has to have a mine in one of these 2 squares. And then as soon as a mine is in one of these 2 squares, that eliminates this cell from anything. So I'm going to click here. Okay. This is still good. You'd think I'd be mad at these question marks. I'm not mad at the question marks. That means that your 2 mines are here. And I think the logic makes sense, because if the mine was here instead, that means this 2 has to go there. That automatically breaks this cell. So you have to have 2 mines here. This has to be clean. And then you see a 1-2. Now, this puzzle's a lot trickier than the previous, man. It may unfold itself at some point, but, I mean, we only got 2 mines in. I mean, there's not that many squares left. There's only 13 squares left on this board. 8 of them are mines. So if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what does. So we know that over here, I mean, you could be looking at something like this. And then this would be safe, and this would be safe. I actually like that, if I'm honest. Let's take a look at instead something like this, where then... Okay, hold on. So we either have this, 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 or we have, on the flip side, I'll use like a pink for this. We could have this, 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 and then it would have to be this and this. So what does that tell us? It tells us this has to be a mine, this can't be. Okay. That has to give us the next idea. What's the next idea? Well, okay. Well, look at this 1-2. That means that you have to see a connected 2-banger. So that has to be here, which then means these get filled out. This 2 has to see a connected 2-banger. You get there, you're there. Okay, that fills that out real nice. But then where does this put us? Ton, where does this put us? It puts us at this being a mine. It puts it at both of these being mines, and then that being there. Okay, dude, I'm cruising right now. It's not that bad once you get the hang of it, okay? It's really not that bad. Okay, I did some quick stuff. You know that one of these ones has to be in one of these 2 slots right here, so that it eliminates this one because he has to be one of these, which then makes those safe. Hopefully that made sense. Then we know, okay, so then we know that this one too is kind of interesting. So if you have this, that makes this has to be 1. Okay. Actually, interestingly, even if it's this still has to be 1. So we can confirm that as a mine. And we can then confirm, so this 1 here, you know one of these has to be, so those are all safe. It's actually kind of interesting. We don't know anything about this one, though. I say this one as in I'm implying, you know, this cell, but actually I do mean the one inside of the cell. What else is going on here? I think what this guy means, yeah, you know what? We know exactly. That means this has to be a mine, which would then make this not a mine. This has to be a mine. You are then safe. You're a 3-banger. That's a lovely bit of info to know. And then where do we sit? Where do we sit? So I'm looking at this 1, 2. That means that this has to be a mine, and then this has to not be. Okay. Now, a 2, 3 is fascinating. That's very interesting. Because you could be boom, 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 safe. Or you could be, if I switch to blue instead, you could be boom, 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 safe. So, those two have to be mines. You have to be safe, you're a mine. And then we only have 1 mine left, so those has to be safe. You're there, you're there. Dude, I'm kind of cracked with the wall, though. I didn't realize I was so good at video games, but alas, I'm pretty good at them. I mean, this is a Minesweeper, but I'm still pretty good at it. We need to unlock T. So we need to do some more connected puzzles. And to be honest with you, I actually think that connected is maybe the easiest one yet. So that's good. We're gonna click a mine. Oh yeah, they can be diagonally. They can be diagonally. Okay. Yeah, great point. I'll move to the next one. I gotta yeah. No islands. No islands. Okay. That's my bad. That's my bad. What do we know? What do we know? This 3. Now, what do we know? What do we know? Okay. Here's what we know. This 3 up here. I feel like I jumped way too quick into connected. If you haven't seen connected, all the mines have to be orthogonally or diagonally adjacent going through the puzzle. You can't have little islands of mines. So this 3, if you take a look here, this blue is too dark. You can't see it. If you take a look here, right? If these 2 are both mines, then this 3, okay, it pairs the 3 sees the 1, right? And you know that this 1, you can't have a mine here. And why is that? Well, if there was a mine here, that guarantees all 3 of those can't be, so then this mine is alone. So we can immediately click U. Then we know that this, because of the 1-2 rule, just Minesweeper, this has to be a mine, which then means this has to be a mine to connect you, right? Then we can click in U, we can click in U, those 2 have to go in. That's a great start for me. Then for my next trick, these 3s, there's still a story we can tell with them, and I'm trying to figure out what that story is. What the story is you know that both of these cannot be mines, because then you are a 4, so that means that you have to have 2 mines up there. And then you have to have a mine. I mean, one of those two still has to be a mine. In terms of making sure that things are all connected, it actually doesn't matter which one of these is or isn't. Let's maybe take a look at this too now. Because you have to make sure there has to be a mine between this one and this one in order to connect back up to this. But you could perhaps see this and this, and then that's actually fair game. But then, of course, you need to have a connector back up to here, to these guys, right? So then it would have to go here and here. Well, that's not physically possible. Now is it, right? Because now these are on their own island and cannot be connected. So, because you only got 4 mines remaining. Sorry, I left out that little bit of logic. So what does that tell me? It tells me that this is incorrect. So then which is it? Which is it? We can maybe take a look at. Well, I know one thing for certain, okay? And it's clickable territory that I know we can click because it is physically impossible for there to be mines there, right? This spot right here can never have a mine because it's not physically possible to connect everything, even taking path of least resistance. So we know that this is not a mine. I kind of expected it to say that because I it's useless. But I think using the same logic, I think I can say that these two are not mines either. Right? Because with 4 mines remaining, you still need one of these two, right? And I need one of these two. And I still need one of these two. So that only leaves us one singular mine to connect all of this. And if we have... actually, I suppose you could... No, you can't do this because this 2 gets locked, right? So what if instead you had something... Nope, you can't do that either. So I do think that there is logic that says that this cannot be a mine and this cannot be a mine. I'm not surprised it hit me with the question marks because I'm missing some other core logic piece here that we can use to unfold this. This... It has to be this 2, right? Yes, it has to be this 2. In order for... With 4 mines remaining... actually, hold on. You do have this funky pattern. So, looking at this 2, okay? I don't know why I erased my line under it to add a new one. Looking at this 2... You can never have a mine here. Because you need a mine to connect to this. So that's the logic we're missing, is this has to be safe. Then, because that's safe, you have to connect this island. So those 2 have to be mines. And then the puzzle legitimately just falls apart, right? Because in order to connect everything now, we only have 2 mines remaining. These 3 still need one, so it has to be this exact route that I drew. Okay. Took a little bit to see the value of this 2 here, but we got there in the end. Okay. What are we dealing with now? I feel like I don't actually love this start. Why don't I love this start? You didn't give me any 1s, right? 2s and 3s offer a lot more pain in my life. Because, I mean, even looking at this 2, this 3, you can immediately have this, and that's actually fair game. But there's an issue with that. There's an issue with this that actually tells us something, okay? So then take a look at this 2-3 pair here. So this 3 cannot have this, because then this 2 is stuck, right? He's stuck, because he's now a 3. So... in order to make this whole thing work, I think what it's telling me is that this in the corner has to be a mine, which then unfolds that this has to be a mine. It's very interesting logic. Then one of these two has to be a mine, right? But then because only one of these two is a mine, that means that both of these cannot be. And if this one is a mine, this one has to be. So if they both can't be, then this has to be safe. Okay. Then this is a 2, this is a 2. Well, you're a 1, you're a 2. You can't have both of these, right? But you have to have one of them. So this has to... I'm dumb. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm done. Just skip that one. I understand. I understand. What a lovely start right there. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Just bear with me in my idiocy. I'm very stupid and very dumb. Okay, what's going on here, man? What's going on here? We got a 1-1 rule going on, which is interesting. And then I mean we have a really freaking weird pattern here because we have to wrap the mines around this backside, right? So no matter what, this has to be a mine. It's a weird thing to be able to guess and have every confidence in the universe that is legit. But you can do it for sure. Because there's no other way for the mines to wrap around this. In the same way, that means this has to be a mine, right? And then on top of that, this has to be a mine. Okay. It's very weird. It's very weird. Then this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. This can be a mine, doesn't have to be. Okay, so that's why I'm not doing much with it. But this 3 now puts me into a position where, I mean, you could have these as your mines, right? You can't have these as your mines. And I'm struggling with where you can't have... I think this slot can't be a mine, but I'm not willing to make that judgment quite yet. So this 3, right, has to be one of these two. Dude, there's like 4 different logical conclusions here, and I have to somehow connect all of them. This is a very tricky puzzle. So these ones, right, one of these two has to be bad. But this 2 needs to have... I mean, you could have something like this, right? So this 2 immediately needs to have this box as a mine, which makes this one not. Because if you had both of these, right, then this 3 has no way to connect. So this can never be a mine. So it's click, boom, boom. That feels very good. And then because of the connected rule, right, we can then assume this is bad. That goes in there. These are like so. And then there's 4 mines remaining. And we know all of them. Because you can't have that, so then your path looks like that. It's a very, very interesting puzzle. Very interesting puzzle. Okay, let's test the brain a little bit. Okay. Should I just do regular Minesweeper puzzles? Is that where we're at? I'm sorry. I did not mean to click that immediately. I don't even want to do regular Minesweeper. That's hurting my brain just to look at regular Minesweeper. Let's do a Q. I mean, quad rule. Yeah, the quad rule. There must be at least 1 mine in every 2x2 area. Dude, I just straight up don't remember this. I just straight up don't remember how to do these. It's been way too long. It's been way too long. God, why the hell is this like immediately breaking me? I didn't expect this to break me. Okay, we know this has a mine in it. Yes. That I am sure of. 100%. We also know this does. I mean, guess what? We also know this does. We know this does. We know this does. We know this does. Just send me to hell, okay? What the hell can I assume here? This is a absurdly tricky start, right? It's a very, very tricky start. I'm going to utilize a hint here. So there must be a mine in every 2x2 area. Okay. Okay. Understood. Wow, that's actually really interesting. Yeah, you're very smart. So because of this, I can turn this off. Because of this too, right? Take a look at this box here. And then also take a look at this box here. Both of these need a mine in it, right? So then that covers your 2, and all 3 of these are safe. Very interesting. Then this 4 puts us into a position where you only got 5 slots, right? So 4 mines gotta fit into here. If both are here, I'm gonna actually trash all that. If both are here, then this 3 is interesting. Well, okay, we know this has to be, and we know this has to be. So they are both there. It's a good logical conclusion to come to. But then we also know you need one in this box. But you also need one in this box. Dude, for some reason, quad is the one that hurts me the most. And I don't really get why this rule breaks me. They started with the hardest one, in my opinion. Everything else has been easy peasy since. So this 4... Boy, why can't I figure that out? Okay, I think what this means here, if you look at this 3, I think that means one of these 2 has to be a mine. No, actually, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because you could have the mine here for this 4x4 box, and then you would have a mine here for that one. And that's fair game. I could just keep using hints, but that would be a little lame, don't you think? that would be very lame. I feel like it's this 4. No, it's this. Okay. So you're telling me this has to be safe. Dude, they're tough. I mean, they're tough. What can I say? They're difficult puzzles. They're very difficult, and they're breaking my brain like a lot. Connected really does, and then you made it even bigger on me, and that makes it even harder. I feel like I need to just let the game walk me through how to do one. So this 3, because this 4, one of these has to be bad, this has to be safe, okay. And then this would have to be bad. And then this 1 is still in a little bit of a fricked up spot. But we know this is then clean because you have to have one in this box here. And then that, and then this. It's very, very methodical, right? It's a very methodical puzzle. And for me, I don't know. Maybe that breaks me. Maybe that breaks me to have a very methodical... I need to be like all over the place on my puzzles. A lot of different routes to success as you go. Do I actually know this now? Yeah, we know that has to be one. Yeah, that just cleans it up, huh? That just cleans it up. Then that has to go there, that has to go there. This 4 is taken care of. And then we know this 3 has to be one here, but that's already kind of known. I'm just going to continue. Oh, yeah, I actually can figure this out, huh? Really? There's a logical conclusion here? Really? I think you're telling me that this here is a mine, but I don't know why my brain is not. Because if this was the mine, right? That still takes care of all quad rule activity. But then I suppose this 4, well, you could still have this, right? And then there's 5 remaining mines. Ah, there's 5 remaining mines. So that doesn't work. That means this has to be a mine. That's a mine too? Oh, I'm an idiot, dude. This 3, I saw the question mark as a damn flag. Okay, just shut up. Just shut up. That's a rough one by me. We know this is safe. 3 remaining mines. 2 have to be here. 1 has to be here. 1 has to be here. 1 has to be... wait. 1 definitely has to be here. Because that's the quad rule. But we actually already knew that 1 has to be here. Are you a mine? Yeah, you are. Dude, I'm telling you, quad hurts me. I don't know. Frick you. I guess it was clean. Quad hurts me. I understand that it says level cleared. I don't take pride in that one. We'll do quads on another day. Next episode, we're gonna hop into T, which is triplet. Mines may not form a row of 3. Very interesting. That counts for diagonally as well. Interesting. Okay, triplets in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying 14 Minesweeper Variants, please let me know by leaving a like on the video. You can subscribe if you are not already. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.